My famous African American that I researched was Benjamin O. Davis Jr. He was born on December 18, 1912 in Washington, D.C. He also died in Washington, D.C. on July 4, 2002. How old was Benjamin when he died? That's easy. He was 89 when he died. He was buried at Arlington National Cemetery. Benjamin O. Davis Jr. Why do we need to remember him? Read to find out. Benjamin's father was in the U.S. Army and was not at one point stationed in working service in an all-black cavalry unit. He graduated the United States Military Academy in 1936, and then after graduation, he married Agatha Scott. She was born 1903 and had an unknown date of birth. She died March 10, 2002. Also, Benjamin didn't have any roommates at all. Benjamin retired in 1970 and in 1993. President Bill Clinton awarded him a 4-star in 1991. He published his autobiography. His military directions included the Air Force Distinguished Service Medal, Army Distinguished Service Medal, Silver Star, Legion of Merit with oak leaf clusters, Distinguished Flying Cross, Air Medal with 4 oak leaf clusters, Air Force Commendation with medal, with 2 oak leaf clusters, and Philippine Legion of Honor. On October 25, 1940, Benjamin O. Davis Jr., Sir Benjamin's father, became the first African American to hold star rank in the U.S. Army and in the armed forces. An interesting fact is that Benjamin and his wife Agatha Scott both died in the same year. Benjamin was famous because he was the first African American general officer in the United States Air Force. In the United Military Academy as a Black Airman. Benjamin was a pilot, officer, and administrator. His father, Benjamin O. Davis, Sr., was the first African American to become a general in any branch of the U.S. military. His first posting with the all-black 24th Infantry Regiment at Fort Benning, Georgia. In 1943, he organized and commanded the 332nd Fighter Group in Kentucky Airmen. The one challenge Benjamin overcame was when he applied for the Army Air Corps but didn't get in because he was black, and unfortunately they didn't allow blacks. The Army wouldn't even take one black, but look how a black could change history like Benjamin did. But instead, he was assigned to the all-black 24th Infantry Regiment at Fort Benning, Georgia. He was not permitted to be in the Base Officers Club. He was strong because he got through training, and you have to be strong to get through training and get in the Air Force. Also, he had to be desperate because he was really trying to make it into the Air Force, but they wouldn't let him in because he was black. Remember, black people were not allowed. Benjamin had to also persevere because the Air Force wouldn't let him in, so he had to persevere, in other words, keep on trying until he got it. Also, Benjamin had to be active because when you're in the Air Force, you have to be active when you're running around the country. In conclusion, I learned who Benjamin O. Davis Jr. was and how he grew up and what his family was like. Also, I learned what he did in his lifetime, like when he graduated in 1936 at the United States Military Academy at West Point. At first, I didn't know Bill Clinton had given him awards. I also didn't know Benjamin's father's name was Benjamin O. Davis, Sr. Benjamin Oliver Davis, Sr. Benjamin O. Davis Jr. was commander of the World War II Kentucky Airmen. He flew himself 86 missions in P-39 Curtiss, P-40, P-47, and P-51 Mustang fighters. Obviously, Benjamin O. Davis Jr. holds the most important spot in African American history books under the titles of Fearless and Courage.